I'm sure all of this was in your game design document, right?
I hate game design documents.
I'm starting to realize, I'm especially with indie titles. It's like there's two of us, there's three of us. We don't need a GDD. There's no reason to communicate through a document. And also, I think making games. Would you agree that making games is you're discovering it while you make it?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I have a rough idea of like. I think it does the game a huge disservice to tell the game that you know exactly how it should be from the get-go, because that's not true. The game will find itself if you let it, and it's just like raising a child. Like, are you going to force this kid you're going to fucking play football, you're going to do this, this, and this? No, you're going to see what the kid likes, and you're going to lean towards the things that they like. Like, and it's the same way with any kind of art projects where like you stay open.
Yeah.
You stay open so you can pivot, because if you can't, you're going to just force this thing into this terrible monstrosity. And it's also going to be not fun to work on. Like you're killing the magic and the mystery of the art, like the artistic side, the abstract aspect of creation. Like, you're killing that. You're stifling it completely by saying this has to be like this as you go. I would love to tell you, like, I have examples of exactly what I'm talking about, because I just pivoted recently, almost for a gag, because I thought it would be funny. But it's a pretty big pivot. Basically, there's a bunch of NPCs in the game.
Mugetics?
And at the midpoint of the game, something happens. And I thought, wouldn't it be funny if this NPC changed completely? What does that mean? That means me having to redraw a bunch of new NPCs and new environments and whatever else. But it was so fucking funny. Like, how could I not do that? And then we talked about, like, well, wouldn't it be fucking funny if we just ran the credits right there, like the game ends? Yeah. And why not? And why not? And like, yeah, it's a lot of that. I mean, that's what is exciting about making things.
There's a conundrum here. It's like a catch-22, something like a catch-22, where if you're financially constrained. Okay, so I felt financially constrained this summer because we had the money to work with from our publisher, and that was what we were going to work with. And so I had a team, and I'm sitting here going, okay, we've got these milestones and we've got these deadlines. There is no budget. There's no room in the budget, and there's no room in the schedule to have fun and play around with ideas. But there's also the other side of the coin, which is when you have a lot of freedom and a lot of money, then suddenly you don't have the hunger and the drive.
Yeah.
And you know about both, don't you? Like that, that moment, like with Super Meat Boy in the documentary, you were just like
where it's wrap it up.
Yeah. And you're just like so tense, and you're so tired and stressed, and you bitterly resent your project. I mean, I don't know if you felt that way, but I feel that way.
I've resented projects. I have in the past.
And it's kind of like raising a child. And it's like, I thought I raised you right, son. And then he's 25 years old and he's in prison. That's the feeling. That's the feeling of building a game that you hate. It's like, it's been 3 years. Why did I do this? But okay, so you've got that. What I'm trying to say is, like, there's that feeling of constraint, financial constraint, that actually drives you forward and creates these crazy, awesome ideas that come out of like the ether.
But if you have if you don't have anything at all, then
if you have too much freedom and too much money,
you can just float around forever.
Yeah, you'll just and your ideas will become watered down and maybe boring. And so my question to you is, like, a lot of people listening right now, they're probably like, well, it's easy for Ed. And I know people probably think this way about you, and it's unfair, but what they'll do is they'll say, well, Ed's super successful, and of course he can dick around and do what he wants.
I was dicking around and doing what I wanted when I had no money and working at GameStop.
Okay, that was really what my question is were you always this way? Is this in your DNA?
Oh yeah, I can't have, okay. And it could just be my personality flaw. I don't think I could ever have a job at a company. I was honest with myself about that very early on. I don't think I could work for somebody else. I don't think I could have somebody tell me what to do. It's very difficult for me. It pains me deeply inside, and it makes me resent people.
Me too.
It wasn't there. It never was there for me to just do that. So I couldn't do it. And my limitations forced me into what I'm doing now.